Good evening, I'm Joanna Camille Zanki and you're watching DCPh News. Tonight, as the world enters 3010, it does so under the shadow of an unprecedented crisis. The Philippines, along with Indonesia and Brazil, has become the epicenter of an intergalactic dispute that threatens to ignite a full-scale civil war. For over 9 centuries, Earth and Mars maintained a fragile peace with the Vrexian Empire, an alien civilization first identified as Unidentified Aerial Phenomena or UAP. Once hailed as a technological partner and innovator, the Vrexians are now accused of violating the 2088 Treaty, a treaty that supposedly safeguarded Earth's sovereignty and ecological balance. Earlier today, reports from Central Luzon in the Philippines confirmed the vast swaths of agricultural lands have been rendered barren. Advanced Vrexian mining technology has extracted essential nutrients from the soil, leaving it dry and infertile. Families who have worked these lands for generations now find themselves displaced, crowding into neighboring regions that are already overburdened. Across the affected areas, scenes of despair are growing. Refugee camps are overflowing, with farmers and their families struggling to secure food, water, and shelter. Livelihoods have been destroyed, and the once fertile lands that fed entire communities are now wastelands. But the devastation doesn't stop there. The Vrexian Empire has been accused of deploying drones to monitor the operations in these areas. These drones described as highly advanced surveillance units, hovering ominously over mining sites and refugee zones. While their purpose remains unclear, their presence has sparked fear among civilians and raised suspicions among global leaders. In a statement released earlier this evening, Martian officials condemned the Vrexians, claiming, and I quote,
"This violation of Earth's resources and sovereignty directly defies the treaty that binds us. We will not stand by as an ally suffers such injustices."
Martian diplomats are now calling for an emergency assembly of the United Intergalactic Council to address the severe breaches. Let us take a step back to understand how we got here. The 2088 Treaty was hailed as a landmark achievement in intergalactic diplomacy. Earth had entered into an agreement with Mars to foster technological and economic growth while ensuring the preservation of Earth's resources. At the time, this partnership was seen as a beacon of hope, with the Vrexians sharing technologies that revolutionized energy, medicine, and transportation. However, critics of the treaty warned that it left Earth vulnerable for exploitation, as clauses allowing controlled resource extraction were vaguely defined. Today, those fears appear to be true. The Vrexian Empire's mining activities have not only destroyed ecosystems, but have also triggered geopolitical instability. Nations like Indonesia and Brazil, also targeted by these operations, have echoed the Philippines' outcry for immediate intervention. The global response has been swift, though fragmented, while the United Nations of Earth has called for immediate action to halt the Vrexian activities. Many nations are struggling to form a cohesive strategy. Developing nations, already stretched thin by economic and environmental challenges, are now bearing the brunt of this crisis. Martian forces, on the other hand, have begun mobilizing in preparation for potential conflict. Sources within the United Intergalactic Council report that Mars is pushing for a unified military response, one that would involve Earth and other allied systems. However, Such a move risks escalating the situation into a full-scale intergalactic war. Meanwhile, protests have erupted across the globe, with citizens demanding answers and accountability. From Manila to Sao Paulo, people are taking to the streets holding banners that read, "Save our lands and Earth is not for sale." The sentiment is clear. The world will not stand idly as the lands are stripped away. As we face the dawn of 3010, humanity stands at a crossroads. The Earth-Mars alliance, long seen as a symbol of unity and strength, is being tested like never before. Will diplomacy prevail, or are we witnessing the early days of a war that could reshape our galaxy? The coming days will be critical. Emergency meetings, military mobilizations, and intergalactic negotiations will determine the fate of our planet and our alliances. Here at DCPh, we will continue to bring you latest developments on this rapidly unfolding crisis. This is Joanna Camille Sankey, reminding you to stay informed, stay vigilant, and hold on to hope. Thank you for watching, and good night.